We're here in Annapolis in this historic year in Maryland government to follow some student pages from Prince George's County. They're getting a master class in legislation and perhaps some ideas of taking over a delegate seat or a senator seat themselves. What a year it is to be a student page in Annapolis. High school seniors from all 24 counties and Baltimore City, all wearing signature gray blazers and all amazed to be rubbing shoulders with the state's top lawmakers, are especially thrilled this year that Wes Moore is the new governor. Are you overawed by this whole experience?
Yeah, I am, because we went on like a tour of the area for a little bit, and it felt nice to be able to see like the history of Maryland, because in the Senate building there was things like for the Black History Month with the World War I soldiers and the old breweries and all that stuff. It was pretty cool to see.
Do you feel part of history since Wes Moore is our new governor? You know, he got up there and his pride in being an African American was palpable. Do you feel like you're part of a historical time here?
I do. Like, it feels nice to be able to like be living in like a history, you know, because he's the first African American governor. So it feels nice to like have someone that can represent, you know, our culture.
Well, I think that the legislative process is quite fascinating. Our first day here, we were able to watch the pro forma session in the House, and we were also able to watch the Senate meet in their chambers. And I will say that like seeing it in the first time, being like in the room, is quite a surreal experience. Seeing like legislation being actively passed that might affect me in the future, like it's just really cool.
The students are some of the brightest, well-prepared students across the state. So they come here with a lot of experience in understanding government. But when they get here, they get the firsthand experience of seeing the process behind the scenes and on the floor. They get to rub elbows with the senators and delegates and talk with them about their legislation. They have been warmly received after 2 years of being virtual, as a virtual program. We are so happy to have them back on the floor.
And while these post-pandemic pages no longer make coffee for delegates and senators, but still serve it, and don't have to distribute as much paper as most business occurs on laptops, the legislative lessons of old haven't changed. Even for a seasoned politician like Alvaro Cerón Ruiz, Prince George's County Public Schools student member on the Board of Education, there is still much to learn. How does this compare to what you do at the school board?
I would say it is a step up. I would say it's very different to how it is on the county level. Just firstly, looking at the arrangement of the chambers, seeing how senators, because I'm on the Senate side, and so seeing how senators interact, how the president leads the meeting is much different than it is on the county level on the board. And so seeing my first night on Monday, like 8 o'clock, I was like, whoa, 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 because everything was going so fast. They were passing bills through. Everyone was clicking their buttons, yes. And I was like, I want those buttons on the board.
With role models everywhere, some looking down from the walls, and others ennobled in bronze outside, like jurist Thurgood Marshall, and the students on a bench, reminders of the Brown versus Board of Education Supreme Court decision. It is no wonder that all three of the current Prince George's pages are thinking they too might want to come back as elected officials themselves.
I would love it. I believe that having the opportunity to make change in any way, even if that's, you know, being a page, helping delegates make changes to legislation or government, really any way that I could help, like, it would just be a phenomenal opportunity. So
for me, bringing representation is always important. And so, you know, my first night, I looked around and didn't really see Latino senators. And so my hope is to someday, you know, maybe fill that vacancy.
So one day, Governor Alvaro, maybe first Hispanic governor in Maryland?
Hope so, hope so.
Like Delegate Jazz Lewis, a former student page and Charles Herbert Flowers High School graduate. Current student page Daniel Osho isn't quite convinced that the page experience will be predictive of a career in the Maryland General Assembly.
For a lot of the senators and delegates, they were telling us when we were talking to them that they weren't even planning to go in this field. They were going to be like in another career path, but they just ended up finding themselves doing this. So who knows what could happen?
Did you ever imagine when you were here as a page that you'd one day be sitting in a delegate's seat?
Absolutely not. I actually became a page. My aunt actually filled out the paperwork for me. I was not very interested in politics at the time. But when I came here, I realized they're people like everyone else, and they bring their hopes and their dreams. And at least the legislators from my district who I got to talk with, I continued the relationship with them. It was very helpful. And I make time every week to talk to all the pages as they come, to let them know, I was a page, they could be here themselves, to listen to, what they want to do long term, where they come from in the state, and make sure they enjoy this experience while they're here.
It's obvious the pages are enjoying what they're doing, where they're living, and yes, what they're wearing.
I'm living in housing. It's a very interesting experience to be away from home because I don't really get to do that much. So, yeah.
What do you think about this blazer? Pretty nice, huh?
It's pretty snazzy.
Pretty snazzy indeed. Congratulations and a big vote of confidence in all the Prince George's pages for representing us so well already. This is Dave Zarin reporting.